Hi everyone, my name is Mindy and I'm one of the instructors at OG Yoga. I teach restorative yoga on Thursdays, and today I'll be leading you through a 40-minute restorative yoga sequence. For this practice, I have a couple of props with me, and you can take the time before we get started to grab your props as well. I have 2 pillows that I just pulled from my bed. I also have a blanket. You can use a towel, a big sweatshirt, or one of those throw blankets if you have one. And also, if you're lucky enough to have a weighted blanket, I also suggest using that as well for our final resting posture. The sequence that I'll be guiding you through today is a sequence that I use in my own personal life. Whenever I'm looking for a sense of relaxation, a sense of calm, if I'm feeling some high stress, high anxiety, and then also if I'm finding myself having a difficult time in seated meditation, using postures that are more restorative, that are more supportive, is a kind of bottom-up way of accessing a sense of relaxation and openness in the body. The idea is that once we find a comfortable posture, something that feels supported, that feels like there's very little effort to be in that physically, then once the body is settled, then the mind will follow. And so throughout this practice, we'll be exploring our breath, we'll be exploring movement, as well as exploring our postures using some support. At any point, if you want to pause the video, if you're finding a rhythm with your breath and with your body and movement, take as much time as you'd like, as much time as you have. And then same thing as we go into our more restorative postures, if you'd like to stay in those for any longer, feel free to stay there. You'll be hearing my voice, guiding you throughout, offering different options to see what might feel best in your body. And at any point, if you need to adjust, modify, skip over posture, I encourage you to do that. You're using this sense of your internal resources, your breath, your awareness, and this option to inquire within, this self-inquiry that helps guide you throughout your practice on your mat. And so take it as you'd like, take as much time as you'd like, and we'll go ahead and get started in a comfortable seated position. You can set your props off to the side. I prefer to sit up on a blanket or a block if you have it. I'm sitting cross-legged, but if there's any other comfortable way to sit, including sitting up on a chair, feel free to take that option for you. You can close the eyes or let the gaze just fall softly out in front of you. And we're going to use these next few moments to just tune in with how our breath is doing. How are you feeling in this moment? How does your body feel? And if there's any things that stand out to you right now, noticing where your mind is at, if it's in the past or in the future. Maybe using your breath to anchor the mind, to invite it back to this moment, noticing what is happening in this moment right here, right now. We'll take a few more rounds of breath, just noticing what comes up. If it's comfortable for you, the option here is to maybe rest a hand over the heart, the hand on the belly, feeling into the breath with the hands. And you might even explore what it's like to exhale completely. Maybe letting out an audible sigh. Checking in with yourself. What do you need from this practice today? And is there any way that you can offer that to yourself? On the next exhale, relaxing your arms down into your lap. Eyes can remain closed or the gaze is soft. As you just take another couple rounds of breath here. And we'll start to add on different layers of movement. Starting with an inhale breath, you're going to stretch out your palms, extend the fingertips, and as you exhale, you're going to curl all fingertips in, making a fist. And do that a couple of times. Inhaling as you stretch out the palms, and then exhaling as you curl in. Inhaling. And then exhaling, you're going to hold that fist, and as you inhale, you might start to rotate the wrist, just moving into the wrist and the forearm muscles. Maybe you extend the fingertips and you make fists again. Just kind of move the hands around. Maybe you let the elbows start to bend, and then move into the shoulders. Just a couple rounds of shoulder shrugs, moving with your breath. Maybe incorporating the neck. Softening the jaw. You might even wiggle your bottom jaw side to side, forward and back. Relaxing the tongue. Going in opposite directions if you haven't quite done so yet. Eventually, you'll meet with your hands. Palms can be face up or face down over your lap. Sitting up tall, shoulders stacked above the hips, crown of the head stacked above the shoulders. And we'll start again with an inhale breath, sweeping the arms out and up overhead. Arms can meet in this 45-degree angle or any height that feels comfortable for you. From here, with the palms facing upward, pinkies gently rolling inward, imagine as if you can lengthen the sides of the neck. And then on the exhale, you just soften the shoulders down. Take one more breath in, like you're sitting up a little bit taller. And then from here, you're going to drop your right hand down, palm presses against the floor beside you. Inhale, left arm reaches straight up, and then exhale, lean over. Stay here for about 3 breaths. Maybe you start to explore. Rib cage up towards the sky, length through the sides of the neck and the sides of the waist. Maybe reach a little further with that top arm. And at your own pace, we'll switch sides. Inhaling back through center, both arms reach up. And then as you exhale, drop that left hand down. Right arm reaches up, maybe on a big breath in, and then as you're ready, exhale, lean towards that other side. Same variations here. Maybe the rib cage lifts, the sides of the neck lengthen. You might press your bottom hand into the mat. And then as you inhale, both arms will reach up overhead. Imagine like you're holding this really big beach ball, holding in the palms of your hands. And then exhale, move into a cactus. Press the elbows back. Maybe puff up the chest. The chin might start to lift. Soften the shoulders just a little bit. You're holding just enough tension and traction in the body to find a sense of openness. We're going to find a twist from here, twisting towards our right. Option to keep your arms in cactus as you just turn your shoulders and your arms. Maybe releasing the arms down, wrapping around the legs, right hand behind you. And you might sit up tall on the inhale. Maybe on the exhale, as you breathe out, you might twist your ribs a little bit further towards the right. Twisting only to any degree that feels comfortable. Check in with your breath. And notice if it feels okay to breathe deeply here. Notice if there's any shift of the breath. And notice when you feel ready to come out of this posture. When that moment comes up, inhale back through center, both arms reach up. Palms open wide like you're holding a big beach ball. Exhale to move through cactus, getting a nice stretch and opening for the front of the body. Inhale. And then as you exhale, twist to your left. Maybe just turning the shoulders. The strength of the core helps you twist. You can relax your arms down using leverage, the hands around the edges of the legs. Inhaling to sit up tall, exhaling, maybe twisting a little deeper. Noticing if one side feels a little different than the other. Notice if you're met with any resistance, either in the breath or in the physical body. And just noticing, how do we respond to that? What do we need in that moment? When you feel ready to exit that posture, you'll inhale, unwind, both arms reach up. Touch the palms, exhale, move the hands through the heart center. Let your eyes follow, let your chin start to tuck. And we'll gently meet, bowing our head towards our heart. As you inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Start to lengthen through the front side of the body. We're going to carry this into a forward fold. Start to bow over the legs. Palms can place down in front of you using the arms like kickstands. Maybe walk the hands a little bit further out. Option here to let the spine start to round. Let the crown of the head release. Maybe the elbows bend. Forearms can release down. Breathing into the back side of the body, the same way we breathe into the front line. And if you'd like, explore walking your fingertips over to the right corner of your mat, maybe reaching a little bit further with that opposite hand. And then moving yourself through center to the opposite side. And when you're ready, you'll meet back at center. Gently bowing down the middle. Pushing that floor away from you, using the arms again as support, and slowly rolling yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. And we'll take a few breaths here as we just let our bodies, our spines return back to neutral. Let the shoulders soften. Option here for a cleansing breath, breathing in and then sighing it out. From here, when you're ready, you're going to allow your legs to extend towards straight. So whether you're sitting on the floor, you can prop your hips up again with a blanket or a block. If you're sitting in a chair, you can do the same thing by extending the legs one at a time. And then the same way that we got into the wrists, rotating the wrist and the fingers, you can do the same thing with your feet, just kind of stretching out the toes, flexing and pointing through the ankles. Maybe you make some circles with the feet. And then from here, we'll meet with the soles of the feet bent on the floor, knees bent. Arms can wrap behind you, palms onto the mat, and then just press into the ground, puff up the chest. And we're going to try to maintain this long spine, seeing what feels best for you. If you'd like to move to support your back, you might sit up against a wall, or again, you might find a chair. And then we're going to take our right leg, hug it in towards the chest. Again, flexing and pointing that ankle and that foot, finding a rotation there. We're going to meet with the big toe pointing towards the knee, making this big flex, this 90-degree angle from the ankle to the shin bone. And then using the support of the hands, you can extend the left leg a little more towards straight as you make this figure 4. So you might start to feel some sensation in the outer edge of the hip. And just checking in again, does this sensation feel pleasant? Does it feel unpleasant? Comfortable, uncomfortable? And noticing where your breath is. Hands can stay behind your back. And I'll adjust so you can see. Shin bone is moving about towards parallel to the shoulders, which means If you need to take up a little bit more space in your body to find that same sensation in the hip without any pinching or pain, feel free to do that. Pressing the palms into the ground, puffing up the chest, lifting up in the chin. You can do this while seated. So if you're sitting in a chair, you can still make that figure 4. And an option, if you're in a chair, you can start to hinge forward, bringing your torso forward and down. To get a similar sensation sitting on the ground, you can walk your hands in towards your hips. You can walk your bottom foot in towards your hips as well. And then reset the spine, take a few breaths here. You're going to unwind at your own pace, placing the soles of the feet onto the ground, and if possible, separate the feet as wide as your mat. And for a couple of rounds, just let the knees windshield wiper side to side. And then when you're ready, you're going to go into the opposite side. Soles of the feet come together. You're going to hug that left knee in towards your chest. You can lean up against a backrest if you'd like. You can also sit up in a chair or do this on a couch. Once you hug that left knee in, give your ankle a couple of rotations, stretching out the toes, flexing into the feet. And we're going to meet in that figure 4 again. Flexing into the foot so much that it makes this 90-degree angle, and that's what you want to get in order to protect this knee. It helps to keep the leg firm enough so we're not putting pressure on that outer edge of the knee. Once you make that figure 4, maybe notice, does this side feel a little different than the other? Notice if you're feeling intense sensation, noticing how you respond to that. Finding our breath. Finding a distance between the feet and the hands that feel comfortable for you. And then we'll take a few rounds of breath here. We'll be here for another few moments. Lengthening the spine. And when you're ready on the exhale, you can unwind. I like to separate my feet as wide as my mat and then drop the knees side to side, giving our hips a little bit of rotation here. When you're ready, you're going to meet in a neutral seat. We're going to take our props now, so you should have 2 pillows and a blanket at least. If there's anything else that's accessible to you, feel free to use that. If you haven't grabbed your props yet, you can go ahead and pause this video and take time to find whatever you can to provide a sense of comfort. You're going to have a blanket that's folded to about this size, and whether that's a blanket or a beach towel, this is going to support the knees and the ankles. You have your 2 pillows here. Mine are about the size of like a standard pillow that you'd find for your bed, and so I have 2 of those. Smaller pillows can work as well. You can just rearrange them as needed. And I'll be demonstrating going sideways. So, on your mat, you're going to place one of your pillows horizontal, so it's going long ways, or sideways. And then you're going to take your second pillow, place it perpendicular on top, so it creates this slant, almost like not quite a 45-degree angle, but a little bit of elevation at the top edge. We're going to start by sitting with our right hip at the base of that pillow, so my props are beside me. And I'm going to curl my feet the opposite direction of my props. So it's going to curl towards the other side. This is where that blanket comes in. You're going to place a blanket between the knees and the ankles to add a little bit of cushion there. For some of us, it might feel better without it. For others, you might kind of stagger your legs in a way that feels comfortable. You might stack your knees one on top of the other. See what feels best for your body as we start moving in through this posture. One hand meets on either side of your pillows. And I like to tent my fingertips, press into the mat, sit up tall like we did earlier, and then add that twist again from the waist. So your shoulders start to square off to those pillows, to those props. We're moving into a twist. Once your shoulders are square, on the exhale, start to walk your hands forward. You're going to melt your belly, your ribs, your chest, and the side of your head onto those props. Turning your head towards the knees. I like to walk my hands underneath the pillow so my forearms are down. And you'll notice from here, some of us might prefer a little bit more height. And if that's the case, you can find an extra prop, an extra pillow, stack some more blankets on top. Some folks like to turn their head the opposite direction of their knees, see if that feels okay on your neck. And then once you settle into the posture of your choice, into this supported twist, option here is to close the eyes. You might curl the knees up towards the chest. And we'll be here for a few rounds. And as you're ready, you can start to deepen your breath, starting to invite your awareness back into the body. And if this feels like a good time to exit this posture, you'll just root down into your palms and one vertebrae at a time, slowly peel yourself up, pushing the floor away. And you'll meet in a neutral seat. Maybe you find some gentle movements at the shoulders, finding a counter twist in the spine. Taking a breath or two or three. And then as you're ready, you can transition over to the opposite side, taking whatever props you used with you to the other side. Swiveling around, placing the base of your hip, your opposite hip, at the bottom of your pillows. Sitting up nice and tall, supporting the legs, and then making your way down onto this side. We'll be here for another few moments. Gently inviting your awareness back to the body. Checking in with your breath. And whenever you feel ready to exit this posture, you can gently root your palms down into the mat, slowly roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. And once you find a comfortable seat, you might take a moment to find a little bit of movement through the spine, shrug out the shoulders, rotate the neck. And then when you're ready, you're going to take that blanket that you had stacked between your knees and your ankles. And all we're going to do here is you're going to open it up to about this size. It's about as long as your mat. So if you can find something that is similar to that in terms of the width. And we're just going to roll that up. We're going to keep our prop set up the exact same as it is right now. And all we're going to do is we're going to turn so that our lower back, our tailbone, is now at the base of the pillows. You're going to take your rolled up blanket or towel, slide it underneath your knee crease. This is where also if you have a weighted blanket or if you'd like to drape a blanket over your body, you can go ahead and grab that for yourself. You're going to extend your legs towards straight, a little bit of support under the knees, and then you're going to roll yourself down so your spine is supported by the pillows. I like for the head to be a little bit higher than the shoulders and the chest. So there's almost like this downward angle from the forehead to the nose to the chin to the heart. Your arms can extend out to the sides, palms can be face up. Maybe take up some space with the legs. If it's not comfortable to have the spine propped up in this way, you can move the pillows out of the way, stack a blanket underneath your head, and lay in any position that feels best for your body. Once you've settled in, take a few breaths. Eyes can close, or maybe you take something like a scarf that can cover the eyes. Maybe you have an eye mask. Palms can extend, palms facing up, shoulders can soften. Taking a few rounds of breath here. One more opportunity to check in. If there's anything else that you can do to make this posture a little bit more comfortable for yourself, feel free to take that option. And for these next few moments, there's nothing else that you need to do here but to just rest. take a moment here to invite our awareness back to the body, to begin checking in with ourselves and just noticing, what is it like to be here? What does it feel like right now? And without needing to change anything in the body, in this posture, the invitation here is to remain in this posture for as long as you'd like, as long as you have time for. For those of you who are ready to begin exiting this posture, you might begin incorporating some movement. You might bend into the knees, roll to your side. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you choose to press up to find seated. So again, an open invitation. Some of you may choose to stay exactly as you are for as long as you'd like. Some of you might choose to roll to your sides or meet in a seat. For those of you who have exited that posture, I invite you to return back to the breath. Return back to the body and just check in. How are you feeling in this moment? What's present in your body? If it's comfortable, you may rest a hand over your belly, maybe a hand over your heart as you feel the rise and the fall of the breath. Invitation for a cleansing breath whenever it comes up for you. Taking a moment to thank yourself for taking time out of your day to show up on your mat, to meet yourself and your body where it's at today, and to give yourselves permission to just rest, to find comfort, to find time to breathe. If you'd like, you can place your hands over the heart, one stacked on top of the other, palms can meet in prayer, gentle bow towards ourselves, again in gratitude for ourselves, for this practice, for our breath. Thanking each other for sharing this virtual space together. And I thank you all for practicing with me. Namaste. And for those of you who are interested in our organization, OG Yoga is a nonprofit that serves individuals who've experienced trauma, and we offer a variety of trauma-informed yoga classes, now online, as well as through initiatives through the community and at their physical location, their studio in North Park. If you'd like to donate, you can check out their website. You can contact us or contact me as well for more information. And again, I thank you all for your practice. Hope you got a chance to breathe and to rest, and I'll see you next time.